How does someone succeed at being a Buddha?
By not knowing you're a Buddha. I think that's the way.
The failure is not believing, and then the
Right, and
succeeding is
Fail for you.
not believing.
not believing is to fail. Well, how would
Right.
you succeed?
It's when you think you are a Buddha.
When you know you're a Buddha.
Yeah, when you know you're a Buddha.
Is it enlightenment or
If
something?
you really knew you were a Buddha, then you wouldn't think you were a Buddha. But anyway, that's too much.
That'd be like the ego.
Let's talk
huh?
about what happens when you think you are the Buddha.
What happens when you think you are the Buddha?
I think if you really see that you're the water, not the wave, which is what the Buddha is, if you really believe that, then you're just so happy. You're just so, there's no more, nothing's missing. That would be nirvana. There's no Phil, there's no Terry,
Yeah. We're all in this together.
right.
Do you think you still suffer?
Oh, sure.
Because suffering is because you have a human form.
Right. And you need to suffer in order to learn. Well, that's the first noble truth. The Buddha has those 4.
Yeah. To be a human is to suffer.
Right. So stop whining about it. Stop blaming it on that God or that man or that woman.
Because we all suffer.
We all suffer.
It's part of the human condition.
So we breathe, we eat, we poop, we suffer.
We suffer.
Yeah. There's gravity and there's suffering. So those are 2 aspects of reality. So don't fight it. Use it. Is what the Buddha said.
How do you use your suffering?
Well, that's the second noble truth is there are reasons you suffer. There are conditions that came together. And some are external, like it really is her fault. So there's external reasons, but then there's always internal reasons. So look at those conditions. Look at those reasons for why you're suffering. Are you grasping for something? Are you trying to be something you're not?
Attachment.
Attached to something? Exactly.
Grasping. What do they call it? Desire or want or?
Right. Grasping, desire, want, attachment. What is it? That's the second noble truth. Find out what the conditions are. And then when you find out what the conditions are, why I'm suffering, then go do something about it.
The third one is
do something about it.
You can free yourself from the suffering.
Exactly.
Isn't that the third one?
Yep, exactly.
Do something about it.
Duh. You found out why you're suffering. Now go do something.
Yeah.
It's really freeing. It's really liberating. Also, I can also see how it could also be like, ooh, not me. I want to give it to God, or I want to give it to Jesus.
Take the wheel.
Right.
Instead of me take the wheel.
Instead of me taking the wheel, right. So.
And then with Buddhism, we got all these lists.
Yeah.
In the 4 Noble Truths with another darn list. He doubles it on us.
Right.
And he says the Eightfold Path.
There you go.
Right? I just got done with this list, right. And you done double the list on me.
Right. That's
on
right.
number 4.
Right. Yeah. That's cheating.
That's cheating. I'm supposed to be at the end of this list.
Right.
And you just gave me another list. Right. Eightfold Path on number 4. Come on, Buddha.
Right. Come on. Give me a break.
You're swindling me. Right. I'm going to get to the end of that Eightfold Path and I'm going to have, what, 32?
32 at the end of that one.
What the heck?
Exactly.
I'll be dead before.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that really irritates people too nowadays. But, I think the reason the Buddha gave all these numbers is so people could remember them, because nobody could take notes like you're doing.
Yeah.
Nobody could write anything down. No, They didn't even have phones in those days.
No, they had to put it on like a stone tablet or
They had
something.
to put it on a stone tablet.
And that took a long
But it
time.
takes- the Buddha takes a long time to give those 4 noble,
Yeah.
and then to add 8 more, and you know that stonecutter was
Oh man, he's
really
getting
pissed.
tendonitis by that.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna need another stone.
Hey Joe, bring me over another stone.
They probably had paper though,
Right.
but they
No,
probably,
they didn't.
they didn't.
No. So all of it, they say that we could look that up. We could
We could look it up.
Google it. But they say that Ananda, his cousin, the Buddha's cousin, who was also his attendant, he could memorize. And I think in those days they could memorize things. So he would memorize the whole talk. And then he could give it himself to someone else, and they could memorize it and so on. It's like in the olden days when I was a teenager, I memorized all the phone numbers, all my friends' phone numbers, my mom and daddy's phone numbers. I had all those phone numbers.
I memorized almost an entire album of the Beastie Boys.
There you go. We could memorize in
I
those
could
olden
memorize
days.
back in that day.
And
I
now
would
we
recite
can't.
it on the playground.
There you go. Can you
That
do
was
it
just
now?
like, I could probably, some of it.
Yeah.
I could probably do Paul Revere, one of the songs on there. But I was like Ananda, and
You're
the
like
Beastie
Ananda,
Boys were like
the
the
Buddha.
Buddha.
You have got it, child. You have
Dang.
got it.
So it was just a spoken.
It was just spoken and then passed down. So there could be some exchanges and
Little tweaks.
exaggerations
Yeah.
and turning the story more the way I would like it to go. There
Ananda's
could
like,
be
well,
some
like
of
I
that.
kind of like chocolate, not vanilla, so I'm gonna change this story up a little bit.
Right. There could definitely be some of that.
Yeah,
There probably was some of that.
probably was.
But he still probably gave those Eightfold Path and
Yeah.
4 and the,
Eightfold Path is. Do you remember them?
oh heavens, maybe.
Right speech,
Well, first of all, it's right view.
right view,
Right speech,
Speech,
right action, right
action,
livelihood.
livelihood. That's your job, your
Right.
profession. Yeah,
Right.
right. Livelihood.
And I think right meditation,
Okay,
concentration, insight. That's 7.
that's
We're
7.
missing one. Maybe right thought.
Right thought.
I don't know.
Is there one about sexuality, like right sexuality, or like?
No, but that's in the 5 precepts.
That's another list. That's right.
That's another list, but it's the big list.